Hello everyone. Sorry about the delay. My computer had a little problem. I had to restart it. As always, thank you so much for shopping with me. Hope your day is well. My day is very sunny here. And if you saw my post just before class, I said to grab a pumpkin or a dyed pumpkin and some ribbon. So I've got a couple cards to show you and some scrapbook pages. Let me just make sure. I'm waiting for the camera to catch up. Trying something a little different. Putting my, oh, that's not helping my, anyway. All right. But I can see that I'm a little crooked. That's okay. All right. Let's see if that makes it any better. All right. I think so. All right. So, and I used a lot of things today, so I've got lots of stuff to show you. First thing I'm going to do is pull out Cajun Craze, ink, and pumpkin pie. And why isn't it not showing me? Okay, there it goes. So, Cajun Craze, pumpkin pie. Let's make sure we can see Old Olive. Old Olive, good. Piece of white cardstock and a piece of basic beige. Okay, so this is just to show you that you don't have to use white cardstock all the time. Okay, these pumpkins I got from Beautiful Pumpkins. They do have a die for the pumpkin, but the way that I'm doing it, I hand cut it because I added the stem rather than add the die cut stem. I added the stamp stem, just so we're clear on that. Okay, so I'm gonna open these up and grab just a small bit of scratch paper. Hopefully you can hear me. Say hi if you're around. Or if you watch the replay, I'd like to know that too. It's all good. All right, so I've got some scratch paper here. And we will get started. So this, I have found that if I do the dark of the two oranges first, then I can see where I'm going with the lighter one. And especially because I am taking off and doing a second generation, okay? So I'm gonna ink this up. I'm gonna move these over here because they don't make quite as much noise. I'm gonna take the first layer off. I'm going to, hopefully stay on camera, do the second layer. So that was 1, 2. Wash that off. And then I'm going to go to my lighter orange pumpkin pie. Take that first layer off. And this is where I might have to get my head in the way. By doing this darker one, I can see where the lighter one is going to go over the top. I did the lighter one first, and usually that will work, but not for this one. Yep, got my head in the way a little bit. Like so. Isn't that pretty? I just love that. The dark colors were just a little too dark. So then on my green stem, again, I'm going to take off the first layer. And I don't mind if it's a little marbly, because this one is. So if I don't get like the first layer all the way taken off, I'm okay with that. Again, sorry for my head in the way. And there's a little notch right here. I don't know if you noticed. There's a little like notch right there that this fits right into. And you will see that when we get done. So again, see how it's a little bit marbly? Okay, let's make sure. My camera seems to be, my phone is tilted a bit, so let me see if that's a little better. There we go. I think. Maybe not. Where is my camera? Oh, now I'm totally off screen. Don't you just love technology? There we go. Okay. So, clean that off. So that's that on white, okay? And same thing for this one. I'll show you again. And this time I will show you just the dark color. So there's number 1. it this way because I don't need it anymore. This is layer number 2, full strength. Sorry if my head gets in the way. But you got to be able to see over the top of it. And I don't know, that's actually not too bad. And then one more. Let's do our green stem. Like so. So I guess it's not as bad as I thought. Or as dark as I thought. Let's get rid of that. We don't need that. So here's our 2 pumpkins. Okay. And it's just what you like. And don't forget, there's all kinds of colors. There's cream ones, there's white ones, there's blue ones, there's pink ones. If you haven't been to a pumpkin patch lately, go. I take pictures when I go to the pumpkin patch of the different pumpkins and whatnot because they're so pretty and I love the way they have them all grouped up in sections. All right, back to what we're doing. So then I cut these out. Now you could die cut this and then cut the matching die if you wanted, right here. And what that gives you is a look like this. So you get a pumpkin that's got, and I actually, there's 2 pieces for this pumpkin, so it gives it a little bit more. There's a big piece in the back and then this little piece that sits on top. And again, I think I did this, yes, in the basic beige. Okay, so there's a couple different ways you can do it. Either way is fine. So there's our pumpkins. And, oh, I gotta show you one more thing. I'm gonna show you, on this one, it'll show up a little better, I think, what I did next. So I took our Stampin' Write black, and I don't have the journaling pen, but I think the journaling pen would probably work. And I drew a face on my pumpkin because I wanted a Halloween card. So I just drew in the pumpkin shape, and there's no reason why you can't turn your project. And by doing it this way, I can kind of adjust. And then I just need a simple nose and some eyeballs. And if they don't exactly get straight, that's another good thing. See, I totally messed that one up. Oh well. So he's going to be winking. I don't know. Anyway, so you can kind of adjust them a little bit. You know, you can go back and do that. So then what I did was I took the writer, and not the brush end, just the regular end, and just colored that in like so. Be careful at the edges. If you have to, you can go back over it with the thin one, because this is such a nice big tip. It's a little bit harder to make that fine edge, if you will. And I guess I don't need to color in all of this. I'll show you one color. Like so, okay? So we're just gonna fill the rest of that in. And you get, and then I just grabbed some paper, some black cardstock, and I made a happy Halloween. This word is from this set, which this envelope is just one that I had been given. It's the Greetings for All Mix and Match Ephemera 164862. And it gives you black and white words and white with black. And there's lots of sentiments in here. Okay, so it's a good overall one. I mean, there's Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, there's Happy Birthday, Baby, Graduation, on and on and on. Okay, so there's that. That's what that is. And this, where did my little piece go? Hold on one sec. This little black piece, I'm gonna come over here, hopefully you can see, and get my glue sheet. I'm gonna put glue on there. Then I'm gonna take this ribbon, which is the irregular weave trim. If you like it, it's 165903, and it looks like this. And I am just going, now it is going to be a little sticky, because I don't know, you might be able to use some wet glue, but I just put this onto here and cut off the edge. And that's how I put it onto here. And it kind of mimics, I don't know, spider webs or ground or whatever, okay? And if you need to adjust it, it will come off. That's why I put this over the top. And I think if you leave it on there long enough, it will, and you know, rub it in, it'll stay. And then we just take our scissors and trim up the edge, okay? So that's what I did for that. And let me hold this up so you can see a little bit better. Let's see. So I just used some of our DSP and just trimmed it in black, because I knew I was going to have this in black and that, so I wanted to add a little bit more black. And then these pretty little bling are 165984 Cajun Craze Gold dots, and they are very pretty. Hopefully you can see that, and they're not super high, a little bit higher than some of our low profile ones, but not bad. Okay, and that's what I used on the next card too, is that. And let me get what the paper pack was in case you're interested. I love this paper pack because you can see it's got like some champagne gold foiling, hopefully, that you can see around there. If not, hopefully it'll show up better in the still picture. Hold on one second. The paper pack is Gathering Together. And you'll see a little bit more of this on my layouts. And it is 165969. Gathering Together. Okay? Let's see. So that's the first card I made. And just a little bit there. Here is the second card I made on Espresso cardstock. And I just grabbed some scraps, okay? And this one it's just cut like that, so it didn't look straight across. So this piece is all right there. I just cut it up that side and up that side. And I just layered the same thing onto there, and the ribbon in the middle of the paper, and then a couple like little foo-foos, pennants or whatever they're called, little tails like from a ribbon. And this is on that basic beige, which is this too, and this is part of the paper pack that's kind of that basic beige color. And then the 3 gems, and everything's painted across the bottom. So there's card number 2. As always, I like to know which is your favorite, number 1 or number 2. And I will do still shots of those. And then I wanted to show you in the catalog how I adapted some, let me get this wet out of the way, how I adapted and made some scrapbooks from this pattern here. So hopefully you can see that. There's not too much glare. Get everything out of the way. All right. So I'm going to hold it up a little bit so you can see. So this is the 2 pages that I wanted to mimic with fall. Okay. And this is what I came up with. So there's no reason why you can't just start with an idea. And hopefully you'll be able to see both of these. Looks like just about. I'll have to do one at a time. So this one, because I added the metallic foil, Happy Thanksgiving, I also added a little strip over here. Those same dots, and the paper or the die is from this set. So these little dies and this one, again, this is the basic beige, is from Gathering Moments. And the same paper pack as I told you for the cards. So that's page number 1, or the left side, and here's the right side. Now in the photograph, these were circles, but I just used the arches for that. And this little grouping here is from no, it's not that one. Hold on, it's right here. It is from Peace on Earth. And I put my die envelope with my dies, and it's these two right here. So there's one there, and I also used it on the card. Okay, all right. So I will take stills of these so you can see them a little bit bigger or better. So that's layout number 1. Layout number 2, I'm kind of mimicking this, and actually the page looks really different. So this is the single layout page, and I just thought that looked like a little shelf, if you will, a bookshelf, a shelf. So I like this idea, and hopefully you can see that good. Okay, and what I came up with, and again, I'll have to show you one at a time. Paper, pumpkin, it will say patch. And I just did the same thing, made my little faces. I used the little black and the ribbon. Same little goodies here, same paper. Old olive on the background. And here is the companion page. Paper, pumpkin patch. Oh my gosh, say that 3 times because I can't even say it once today. Anyway, so there's the second one. So it can go for a card or it can go for a scrapbook page. So I just took the elements, different paper, just scrap paper that I had already cut when I was making these, and just scale it down. Okay. All right, one more. And this one is an idea I got, and I hope I say her name right, don't mess it up. Janice Gilhooly. And it was quite a bit different than this. The layout part of it, the pieces of paper were the same. She did have some different kind of stamping, and then she also splattered, which I didn't do. And she had this was actually turned around the other way. So if it was this way, and she had her words in here, and they were just little words. But I decided to use the great big ones. And again, I put that ribbon just right there and kind of little tucks there. And this side, similar. I just put a little piece here and then added some up here and here. Same gems. And that stamp set is, where is it? I misplaced it. I misplaced it. I'll have to get to you which stamp that this is from. It's from one that we had in the last, I think it's in the catalog. It's in the main catalog, and it is one that's one of those reversible ones. So you can stamp with it, and then you can turn your stamp over so it's the flat part that goes down on the block, and it makes like an outline the same size. So you could do some two-tone stamping, if you will. Anyway, thank you, Janice, for the lovely layout. And that's what I have for you today. I hope you liked it, and I hope you'll try a little something with your ribbon and your pumpkins. And again, do you like 1 or 2? And if you want to tell me which of the scrapbook pages you like, that would be great too. So I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and stay safe and enjoy your time.